Coach, kind of the danger of losing a game the way that you did the other night is, letting that hurt you in the next game. How have you seen your team bounce back from that at practice, and how's that going so far, preparing for Arkansas now?
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, this team has proven to be able to regroup and bounce back after some tough losses. And going into the SEC schedule, in the back of your mind, you knew everything wasn't going to be clean every game, and you were not probably going to go undefeated in league play, and you're probably going to have some tough stretches like we've done before. And you're hopeful that each group finds a way to have a toughness about them to move on, learn, grow, but be ready to go, like you said, when the ball tips the next game. And hopefully history will repeat itself that way. In terms of particular this week, we were off yesterday, and we still practiced in the afternoon, so I don't have a vibe yet of exactly where we're at heading into prep for this game.
We'll stay to coach's left with Benjamin and then go to Sam.
One of the seniors honored on Tuesday night was Trey Jackson. I know he hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time, but he's a local kid from Starkville who played at the W as well. So you just talk about what his impact has been on the team, what's his role in practice and on the sidelines, and what does he bring to this group?
Yeah, it's been great to have Trey a part of our organization. He is responsible and trustworthy, and comes to work every day and is ready to do whatever we need him to do. And he definitely has responsibilities at various times in our practices, and not that it matters in the big picture, but it matters to me, and hopefully matters to him. He's gotten a lot better. Like his game has improved, and the public doesn't see that obviously because he doesn't get to play, like you said, in most of the games. But he's got a great work ethic, and hopefully he's enjoyed his experience, and has learned something and better prepared him for what's next in his life. But it's been great to have him a part of it for sure.
We've seen for maybe the last couple of months or so Delquan Warren get these 3-4 minute spurts, usually in the first half, pretty much every game. I guess just how do you kind of describe his role, or what do you look for out of him when he's playing in those moments?
Yeah, we, early on, really were as impressed with Delquan as an incoming freshman in terms of his motor, his defensive capabilities and upside. It started there for us. Just really gave some of our more experienced guards some fits in the summer, and certainly every kid that's new, but especially a freshman, had a lot to learn in terms of the level, the standard, the daily, the system. But we felt like he had a legitimate chance to help us, especially as we got into the SEC schedule, and he had more experience under his belt. It's been a mixed bag, with him, to be honest. We want him to get minutes. We want him to be able to spell Josh, on the floor, and it kind of depends on how he's doing, to be honest with you. If he gets the second run, that's just a blunt, honest answer. Sometimes, his first run isn't what we need and or would like, and I think he understands that as well. But he's got a bright future. I think, eventually going into his second year, these minutes and exposure of just being a part of it is going to be valuable for him. But we love him as a competitor, as an upside kid, as a motor, and he's got a big future ahead of him.
Go to coach's right and Jacob.
Coach, it's been an up and down season for Arkansas this year. What kind of impressed you most about them?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is just their resiliency. They've had some tough injuries earlier in the SEC with Boogie Flan going down, and then I'm not sure what his status is for the rest of the season. But Darryl had developed into a mainstay for them, and then he he hasn't played the last 2 or 3 games, and they've been able to survive a tough start to the SEC schedule. You know, I don't know exactly what their record was, but it wasn't what they wanted it to be in the last X amount of games. They've shown a resiliency amongst themselves to stick together and kind of reinvent themselves, so to speak, to put themselves in position to, you know, be playing for, you know, I don't know where exactly they stand, to get in the NCAA tournament, which is obviously everybody's, you know, one of everyone's goals when you start the season. So that sticks out to me. You know, it just their ability to change. Obviously, they got really, really good players, but they withstood some tough adversity and they've handled it really, really well.
We'll go back to Robbie over here to coach's left.
Obviously, John Calipari's first year there, but I mean, you kind of know what to expect out of his teams. What is that? What's a John Calipari team look like to you when you're scouting them, whether it be at Kentucky or at Arkansas now?
Well, the thing that sticks out to me, I guess, for this particular team, I really haven't thought about his teams prior to that because I'm worried about us playing this team. But it's just their size, their positional size. You know, they got big guards. You know, their guards are physical. They're lengthy. They're obviously skilled with Wagner and Davis, and they're downhill guys. I mean, you better be, you know, hooked up and motored up and ready to guard the ball because they're going to be in attack mode, you know, the majority of the 40 minutes when you're on the court. And then their length, you know, they're big. They play a big lineup. They're only playing 7 guys right now with Thero out, but all of them are rangy and long and can get to the rim. And then certainly they got you know, size at the rim to be able to protect the basket. They're 4th in Ken Pom defensively in the SEC, so they're very good on the defensive end, and they're a little like us on the offensive end in terms of, you know, they're better in transition and they don't shoot the ball from 3, you know, as well as I think either one of us would like, but they're really good at driving the basketball and being athletic and just using their size to their advantage.
Got time for a few more. We'll go to Sam back in the front middle, and then we'll go to Danny P.
It's been hard for this team to really put together any long winning streaks, which might, particularly in SEC play, which could be a repercussion just of the SEC schedule you're facing, but also, you know, you're about to kind of enter that territory where you lose one game and you're done. So how do you maybe think that, you know, what will it take to maybe start, you know, turning 1 win into 2 and 3 and keep that momentum going?
Yeah, we just got to play better. You know, it just boils down to execution. It boils down to trying to avoid tough stretches. We had 2 of them, or 3 of them, as I look back in the Texas game, where we had a 3-4 minute segment where it just didn't, we didn't play well. 2 in the first half and 1 in the second. And we just got to be more consistent in our play, and we can't let, you know, a sloppy turnover or a missed assignment affect the next play. We've got to regroup quicker and faster. But in terms of like winning streaks and things of that nature, I mean, I don't know how many games we won in a row in the fall, or even how many we've won in a row in the SEC. But you know, that's not a big thing that I talk about or concern myself with. We're just trying to prepare for each and every game. And certainly now, you know, like you mentioned, it's you know, after Saturday we're going to be entering hopefully 2 tournaments, whether it's you know win in advance or lose and go home. And you know, everybody plays with a little more desperation when it gets to that point. And that's what I want to do, you know, for Saturday. I mean, I know Arkansas is going to be in that mind frame. Right? They're going to be thinking about what they need to do as their opportunities dwindle, and we're in the same boat. You know, we need to improve our resume and improve our vibe before we head to Nashville, and it's going to be difficult. You know, we got to go into a tough environment. I'm sure with Senior Day and the way they're playing and what they're fighting for, it'll be an unbelievable crowd. It'll be our first 11 a.m. tip, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, got to deal with an early morning for everybody, and making sure that, you know, when they tip that ball at 11, that we're juiced up and ready to play. But we've certainly got plenty to play for come Saturday.
Danny P, second row right to wrap us up.
Coach, it sort of seems Cam Matthews let it all on the court for obvious reasons the other night, being his potential last game at the hump, but 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, even hit both of his free throw attempts. So what did you see from him on that night?
You bring up free throws, you know, that's an area that, you know, we have done better. You know, the last 6 games, I think we're 77%, something like that, which, you know, knock on wood, if that could continue, you know, when we're in more tight games, which I imagine we will be at some point, could benefit us trying to win, you know, one of these games that we have coming up. But you know, Cam, you talk about he emptied his tank. I mean, I can't, you know, if I really look back and go back and watch, you know, all the games, there's not many that he doesn't. You know, there's just not many that he doesn't. And you know, we talked in here, you know, Tuesday, and you know, for me to go at lengths to talk about, you know, a Cam or anyone else for that matter that, you know, is still playing, you know, we'll have time to reflect, and I just really don't want to, because I'm focused on, you know, the next game and this team, and we're far from finished, and we've got a lot of basketball to be played. And to me, there's a finality to, you know, those kind of conversations that happen when the season's complete and there's no more games to play.